Beach Bums Media is proudly presenting In the Bear Cave with Rob and Ashley. He's just plain Rob from the Start Naked Truth, and I'm just Ashley.
From the Bear Cave.
Right here. You can follow us on Twitter at Bums Media and on Instagram at Beach Bums Media. You can search us out on YouTube, Facebook, and the podcast platforms Spotify and iHeartRadio by searching In the Beer Cave with Rob and Ashley. It's very important that you include Rob and Ashley. We're also on Google Play. Rob's email is robspcbumz@gmail.com. And you can reach me here at the show, beachbumsmedia@gmail.com. And as always, our studio line is 850-588-9275. For any comments, concerns, complaints, or funny stories, please include your name and number so we have a way to get in touch with you.
Please direct all your complaints to beachbumsmedia@gmail.com, not ROBSPC
I'll take them,
bums.
and then I can forward them.
Because I know most of the complaints come about me.
And as always, our bumper music today is provided by bensound.com. Well, I want to start the show off today. Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
In Game 6 in Houston, took a 7-0 victory to become the World Series champion since 1995.
Well, it was 1995 since their last championship. The Cubs, when they won theirs when I was in Montana, had been since 1914, something like that. So,
Yeah.
But I tell you what, it was nice being here in a place where there were a lot of Atlanta fans, and it was great to see people appreciate Atlanta's win, and I celebrated with them.
Yeah. It was actually normally in the past they win at home, but they just went ahead and took care of business in Houston.
Yeah.
So on the road win.
I think sometimes it's better to win on the road than it is at home. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, because it's kind of a in your face.
Yeah,
thing,
you got a shot at getting somewhere without getting mauled by a crowd.
But when the Cubs won the World Series, I was in Montana. I was in Helena.
Yeah.
And I was at the sports bar that I used to hang out. And I'm the only one. I mean, people were watching the game, and I'm the only one. I'm a Cubs fan. I'm watching this game, and they win, and and everybody's going, wow, yeah, the Cubs. I was like, do you understand what just happened here? Can you understand this is a milestone. But like I said, nobody celebrated with me, so it was nice to see the Braves fans, and they've got a lot of great friends that are Braves fans, and like high fives all around. And
well, being from Atlanta, I mean, I have a lot of contacts still up there, so it's good to see them win.
I tell you what, there was game.
Excuse me.
I think it was either game 5 or game 6. I can't remember which one. But they were down 2 runs, 2-0, and man, I tell you what, they had an inning. I think it was a bottom of 5. That man, they just rallied.
Oh yeah,
and came through with a vengeance.
It didn't look good there for a while, and I thought, actually, to be honest with you, I thought they were going to go ahead and do the all game.
Go the distance.
Yeah, go the distance. But anyway, again, congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. I do have a public service announcement. This is more local. I want to read you a little story. It's getting close to Christmas time, and it's time to start thinking about things like this because it takes a lot of preparation in doing this. And this guy does a wonderful, wonderful job. In his everyday life, Mike Jones is a retired police officer. He's a father, husband, and friend. But then, like a superhero, he becomes Salvage Santa.
I've known Mike for several years, and good guy.
I did talk to him the other day, and he wanted me to tell you hi.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
He provides bikes and toys to needy kids in and around the Panama City area. Mike got the idea for Salvage Santa while working at a department store. He was deeply troubled by the number of toys and bikes that were being returned and often destroyed when they only needed minor repairs. So he offered to repair them as long as he could give them away to families who could not afford bikes or toys for their children. Anyway, long story short, many people think the job starts in December, but no, it starts in January and goes through December.
Oh, it's a full-time job,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And I'm sorry our live feed's buffering for some silly reason. Anyway, I did talk to Mike. You can take your bikes you no longer need or that are in need of any repairs and you can donate them. Salvage Santa will make them sparkle like new and present them to a child on Christmas Day. Just drop off any bike at 2715, that's 2715 Hillsborough Avenue here in Panama City. But you can drop it off anytime Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Feel free to give him a call at 850-832-2976. And on the other side of that, if you have or know of somebody in need or that would like a bike and they're having trouble obtaining one, go to his website, salvagesanta.com, and at the end of the page, scroll down to the bottom, and there's a information sheet to fill out. He has people monitoring that page every day, and they would be more than happy to do everything they can to assist you and or the family in need that might possibly could get a bike for a young boy or girl on Christmas Day.
Mike's been doing this for years and years and years, and I don't know if you know this. Several years ago, I was working in radio, and I wasn't the one that was called, but I just actually had heard on a news story, one of the local TV stations, that Salvage Santa's storage unit where he stores all the bike had been burglarized.
Yep.
And they had taken just about every bike and every part and everything that he
wiped them out.
Just about wiped them out. Well, they didn't know who they were dealing with. First of all, retired cop, and second of all, somebody who's been entrenched himself and endeared himself to this community so much that within a couple of weeks he had everything. He didn't have everything back necessarily, but everything had been replaced. Bikes have been donated. Brand new bikes have been donated. Parts have been donated. I mean, he ended up with more.
It didn't take him long to get back up and running.
Right.
But
exactly.
it was. I don't remember what the end result of that story was. Did they ever catch whoever did that?
You know, I don't know. I talked to him a couple of years ago about it, and I really didn't. I don't know. I don't think they ever did.
I don't remember ever hearing anything about that.
And he said no matter what the resolution was, everybody came together, and I ended up with actually more than what I lost, and was able to help more kids.
And they were able to meet their end result, which was to help some children that not necessarily needy children, but children's parents who really can't afford a lot.
Right.
So he does good work. So if you can do anything for him,
SalvageSanta.com.
Go to SalvageSanta.com.
Mike is one of the best. He's salt of the earth. He really is.
So all right, now there's been a lot of talk about this, and since I'm one of them, I'm going to talk about it just for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's talking about the crunch of material on the shelves. Nobody has anything or anything like that, and everybody's talking about the truck driver shortage. Well, I don't really think that's the whole problem. I've done some research on it, and I've looked some stuff up. I've got an article, but I'm not reading the whole thing because it's very lengthy. I just highlighted a few things. A lot of your goods, yes, if you have it, a truck brought it.
Right.
But a lot of your goods are now coming in through ports.
Right. Yeah, but they still have to take it from port to.
They have a truck driver has to take it.
Right.
Now, to get into a port can take hours. They require a TWIC card, which I do have. But if you don't happen to have one, it's a lengthy background process. They have Mr. Johnson, who wrote this article, said there's also a lack of crane and crane operators to unload the ships. truck drivers at ports sit for hours and hours at times to wait on a container. One crane for every 50 to 100 trucks. So
Oh, geez.
imagine going to your favorite big box store and getting a cart full of groceries or a cart full of products, and there's only one cash register open,
And there's 100 people waiting.
and there's 100 to 200 people waiting, and they got to scan every individual item. That's the same kind of law you're going to get at ports to get the containers off the ships, or they might be off the ship but on the dock. You got trucks lined up for miles and
Yeah.
miles and miles,
Ready to go.
but it's the amount of personnel to take that container and put it on that truck. It's a truck trailer frame, and the container's latched to it. So when you ever see a trailer going down the road, it looks like the whole box is missing. It's because the container's been delivered. So that's the other side of that coin. It's not so much a truck driver shortage, it's personnel shortage at ports and not able to get the containers off the dock onto trucks because of the lack of people to operate the machinery. And drivers are having to wait for hours and hours and hours to get into the port to get the freight. These drivers sometimes make far below minimum wage. In some cases, they're required, they cannot work more than 70 hours a week. And then sometimes they still owe money to their carriers because they're not making enough freight to pay for their truck, their insurance, their maintenance. Fuel cost is out through the roof. And then you're sitting there and your wheels aren't turning and it's just costing you money. So if you like to make $100 a day, for example, and you sit there for 8 hours, you haven't made a dime yet.
Okay, my question is, why did we not have this problem a year ago? Why did we not have this problem 2 years ago? Why are we having this problem now?
COVID has a lot to do with it.
Well, I know COVID has a lot to do with a lot of things. However, we did not have this problem until now. And fuel prices were
I think
about the lowest that they could have been
Fuel
a
prices
year ago today.
have a lot to do with it. A lot of trucking companies can't afford to do that, and they're having to park, like a trucking company might have 1,000 tractors, 2,000 trailers, but they can't afford to run but 50 or 75. So it's a two-way street. It's not just a truck driver shortage.
No.
It's everything.
It's a domino effect of what's happening.
I think some of the news media is just trying to, everything's a truck driver's fault. Well, it's not. And there is a truck driver shortage. There's a crane operator shortage. There's an equipment operator shortage. There's security personnel shortage to help get the trucks onto the port because they have to have security checks because ports are a port of entry, like an airport.
Right.
And so you have to have security checks.
U.S. Customs and
even though I have the identification card to get on the port, sometimes I do get pulled over and they have to pop the hood open to check to make sure I'm not going to go blow up part of the port, which is fine. I'm good with that. I don't have to open up my doors to drive a flatbed. Anyway. All right, so now we kind of get your thought process on the two avenues of what it could be and all that stuff, insurance and fuel and all that stuff. So it's not so much just truck drivers.
No.
Guess what this weekend is?
This weekend.
Don't forget to adjust your clock on Saturday
that's
night.
right, yeah.
Daylight savings time is used to save energy and make better use of daylight. And it was first used in 1908 in Thunder Bay, Canada. I am like, there's
I
more.
thought daylight savings was a Benjamin Franklin thing because farmers wanting to.
It actually, the idea did not catch on globally until Germany introduced daylight savings in 1916. Clocks in German Empire and its ally Austria were turned ahead by 1 hour on April 30th. 2 years into World War I. The rationale was to minimize the use of artificial light to save fuel for the war effort.
Huh.
Now, I for one am tired of changing my clocks.
Yeah, for one.
Here in Florida, we did vote to keep daylight savings time, but Congress has not approved it yet.
It has to go through the U.S. Congress. We
And-
have said no. We want to be on the same time zone. We don't.
Yep.
Well, I think the Eastern would still be on Eastern.
No, we're still
Central.
going to have the two time zones in Florida.
Right.
We're just going to be on
Constant.
constant time. So we're tired of changing it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, or
Like, okay, this is a nice watch, but my little
you're going to be an hour off.
yeah, because my little watch changer
Yeah.
thing it fell off, and I can't get that out. So
Yeah,
now
so
you're
you're going to be an hour off.
I'm gonna have to do math for the next 8 months.
Yep. If you don't know how to set your VCR, you're pretty much screwed too.
Exactly. Or your oven or your microwave.
Anyway, within a few weeks after that, the United Kingdom, France, and many other countries followed the idea. Most of them reverted to standard time after World War I, and it wasn't until the next World War that daylight savings time may has returned in most of Europe. So don't forget to turn your clocks back 1 hour Saturday night. We're getting another hour's worth of sleep. Whoop-de-doo, it's going to be pitch black dark at 5.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, you get that extra hour of sleep, and everybody goes, oh, I can sleep in for an hour. Yeah, but
Yeah, your body clock's going to have you up.
yeah, it's still going to be jet lagged for
Yeah.
the next
Oh, yeah.
weeks or so.
All right. Today is Friday, November the 5th. National Donut Day.
Oh, if I'd have known that, I would have
Hey.
eaten a donut.
National Love Your Red Hair Day.
Gingers, rejoice.
Tomorrow, Saturday the 6th, Nacho Day.
Lately, every day been nacho my day, nacho my day. No, nacho day, I'll probably have some tacos. I don't have any nacho chips. But
It's also Saxophone Day. So I don't know anybody that plays saxophone, but tomorrow is your day. On Sunday, November the 7th, is going to be, as we just got through talking about, daylight saving time comes to an end. Monday, National Cappuccino Day and National Harvey Wallbanger Day.
yeah.
And for those that don't know, that's a drink.
Yeah, so drink a cup of cappuccino.
And wash it down.
Then drink a Harvey Wallbanger.
Yep.
Let them wrestle for it. Let the caffeine and the
Yep.
alcohol, just let them wrestle
Yep.
for it.
And just play that tug of war.
Yeah. Whoever wins, 3-fall match.
That's right. That's right. Best 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Tuesday is going to be National Scrapple Day.
Have you ever had Scrapple?
Nope.
It's really good.
Never had it.
I had not had it until, what was it, Duff from that Food Network cake show.
Oh, really?
I can't think of the name of the show, but anyway, Duff, he's Jewish. But his favorite thing is Scrapple.
Scrapple.
But he will only eat it on his birthday.
Really? Wow.
Because it's basically pork parts.
Yeah.
And so somebody said, I said, yeah, I'm interested. I've never had Scrapple. I said, I got some Scrapple. You want some? So they fried it up.
Pretty good, huh? Is it like a delicacy or something?
I don't think, I wouldn't call it a delicacy. I'd call it trailer park.
Oh.
But it's really, really good.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you think you like fried Spam? No, you got to get some Scrapple.
I'll have
I
to
think
check
you can
that
get a
out.
Winn-Dixie.
I'm going to have to check that out.
Oh, man.
I'll try that
yeah.
out. Then Wednesday, November the 10th, Marine Corps birthday. Happy birthday to the Marines.
Semper Fi.
And then Thursday, November the 11th, is Veterans Day, and it's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday. She's
So,
a veteran of Ashley.
If you all see a veteran, thank him or her. If you happen to see my mom, tell her happy birthday. Yes, my mom survived me.
Yes. Which is probably
It's a lot.
deserves a medal.
Yeah, Purple Heart.
Yeah, at least.
What's that? What do you get for the Bronze Star? What's that? The Valor thing?
Yeah, it's yeah,
Is that the Medal of?
Valor. Medal of Valor,
Yeah, that would be probably more in line.
above and beyond
Yeah,
line of duty.
yeah, that was it. That was it. I got something new for the show today.
Okay.
Dates in history.
Oh, a history lesson.
So now we're gonna stump the co-host.
All right, let's go.
I should have had special music. I might have to go find special music for this, like stump. Anyway, I'll figure it out. All right. November 5th, 1911. aviator C.P. Snow completed the first transcontinental flight across America, landing at Pasadena, California. He took off from Sheepshead Bay, New York on September 17th and flew the distance of 3,417 miles.
So he took off on my birthday.
Yep.
And he landed what day?
November 5th. It took him that long to fly 3,417 miles.
Wow, man. So, wow, it took him over a month. So I'm thinking.
Up, down, up. I'm sure the fuel capacity was not.
Well, yeah. I'm thinking he stopped at a few Hooters on the way too.
It could,
Yeah.
Could have. All right, November 6th, 1860. Abraham Lincoln, elected as the 16th U.S. President and the first Republican. He received 180 of the 303 possible electoral votes and 40% of the popular vote.
Nice. Well, at the time we have a lot more electoral votes because of more states.
Right.
40% of the popular vote. Pretty impressive actually, because at the time, of course, you've got the.
Well, you got to imagine too how long it takes to get the election results into a central location.
Which, to tell you the truth, a lot of people think is why the Electoral College was established was because of the time and distance. So they send the electors.
The communications issue.
No, it really had very little to do with that. What it had to do with was population. You didn't want big population centers like New York, Philadelphia, Boston electing all your officials when all these rural
areas
could
not be
accounted for.
Right.
So that's why they established the Electoral College, which, to tell you the truth, in this day and age is still valid and still applies.
Yep, sure does. The birthday, November 6th birthdays were American conductor John Philip Sousa.
John Philip Sousa, the sousaphone. Boom, 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 boom.
He best known for his rousing marches, The Stars and Stripes Forever, Semper Fidelis, and El Capitan.
El Capitan.
The inventor of the game of basketball, James Naismith, was born in Altamonte, Ontario, Canada.
A Canadian invented basketball with peach baskets.
Yep.
And I think it was a volleyball or a soccer ball or something. But
And then on, I can't remember. I guess it was peach baskets. Anyway, November 7th, 1659, the Treaty of Prenes was signed, ending the Franco-Spanish War of 1648 to 59.
yeah.
General William H. Harrison led 1,000 American into battle, defeating the Shawnee Indians at the Battle of Tippecanoe Creek near Lafayette, Indiana.
Tippecanoe and Tyler too. That was for Tyler's presidential campaign. He was part of that. I didn't realize that. For some reason, I didn't realize that was in Indiana. I thought Tippecanoe was like in Kentucky or something.
Nope.
Yeah.
November 7th also is President Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected as an unpreceded in an unpredicted fourth term, defeating Thomas E. Dewey, and then Roosevelt died less than a year later.
Yeah, and then Dewey ran against Truman, and they thought Dewey won, but Truman actually won.
Yeah.
But, honestly, one of the reasons that Congress passed the term limits for presidents was because of FDR.
Yep. Because
fourth term.
Fourth term. Noted birthdays on the 7th are evangelist Billy Graham.
Bless his heart, yeah. God rest his soul.
After his conversation at a revival meeting at age 16, he embarked out on a career of preaching and has become known worldwide. Wow. He was a pretty big influence.
America's pastor is what they called him.
On November the 8th, X-rays were discovered by Wilhelm Röntgen at the University of Wolfsburg in Germany.
I always wondered how X-rays were discovered.
They're actually called electromagnetic rays, and he did them in 1895.
And I'm sure there was a lot of probably, a lot of hair loss and tooth loss.
Yeah, how many people
They're going,
died during that little...
Hey, dude, check this out. My bones. You can see my bones. Here, let me put my face in front of it. Check this out. Can you see let me swallow my beer. Can you see it running down my throat? Rednecks everywhere, trust me, I promise you.
Especially in Germany. As far notable birthdays for the 8th of November are going to be Gone with the Wind author Margaret Mitchell was born in Atlanta, Georgia. Her novel sold over 10 million copies and was translated into 30 languages.
And then made into an epic film.
Yes. She won a Pulitzer Prize in 1937 for that novel. She died after being struck by an automobile in Atlanta on Peachtree Street. I know exactly. I know where that happened.
Yeah, wow.
November the 9th, the Great Boston Fire started in a dry goods warehouse that spread rapidly in windy weather, destroying nearly 800 buildings. The damage was estimated more than $75 million. The fire's bright red glare could be seen in the sky for nearly 100 miles.
Wow. I knew Chicago burned. I didn't realize Boston had burned so brightly.
1872. November the 9th, the Berlin Wall was opened after standing for 28 years as a symbol of the Cold War. That was in 1989.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. And I remember when the wall came down.
And yeah, I remember that.
It was an amazing thing.
Notable birthdays for November 9th. Spiro Agnew was born in Baltimore. He served as Richard Nixon's vice president from 69 to 73. As he resigned amid charges of income tax evasion, kickbacks received while he was governor of Maryland and after he became vice president. Agnew is also known as an outspoken critic of the counterculture and anti-war movement of the late 60s.
When you said Spiro Agnew, I'm thinking to myself, how many people actually remember Spiro Agnew these days?
Nobody. From November the 10th, 1775, the U.S. Marine Corps was established. Of course, we just talked about their birthday coming up.
Semper Fi.
And notable birthdays for the 10th is actor Richard Burton, who was born in South Wales as Richard Jenkins, the son of a coal miner. Then November the 11th, we talked about it already, Veterans Day. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was called Armistice Day prior to that. And once again, happy birthday, Mom. Also in 1972, the U.S. turned over its military base at Long Binh to the South Vietnamese, symbolizing the end of a direct American military participation in the Vietnam War. 1972.
Wow. I remember, I don't remember that specific event, but I remember the Vietnam War. I was a kid.
Yeah, so was I. And then notable birthdays for the November the 11th is General George S. Patton, was born in California. He led the Allied task force that led the Casablanca in North Africa. He commanded the 7th U.S. Army during the invasion of Sicily, then received worldwide attention as an official reprimand for slapping a hospitalized soldier suffering from battle fatigue. After D-Day, he led the U.S. Third Army across France and into Germany. He died in Heidelberg, Germany on December 21st, 1945 from injuries suffered in an automobile accident.
Which the circumstances surrounding that automobile accident are still a bit dubious, and
they're still under investigation.
They're still under investigation
to this day.
Old blood and guts. And even the soldier that was slapped said that story that was printed was not accurate of how it happened. He never ever held a grudge against General Patton, and then, like I said, even the soldier himself said the way it was reported was not the way it happened.
Probably not.
So old blood and guts. General Patton.
Neither one are here.
Yeah, very, very complex and very very interesting personality.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, the men that served under him, almost to a person, said that they respected him, and he's one of those take that hill and we'll take that hill. Yes, sir.
Take it. All right. Well, that's your dates and birthdays in history. A new segment here on In the Beer Cave with Rob and Ashley. We hope you enjoyed it. And now, from around the globe, across the nation, from your state, and possibly your city, or right down your street, it's going to be Odd News of the Week you may have missed and want to know about it. And it's sponsored by Biker's Edge and Sandy Bottoms Beach Rentals. Even though it's cold today, it's still plenty of beach weather coming up.
Yes. Well, there's always beach weather.
Now, this is going to be kind of interesting and, well, amusing. Bernie Ecclestone rang in his 91st birthday with his nearest and dearest on last Thursday, including his son Ace, who's 15 months, and his granddaughter Sophie, who's 7.
Okay.
You want me to repeat that?
Yeah, please.
He rang in his 91st birthday
91.
with his nearest and dearest, including his son Ace, who's 15 months.
Ace is just over a year old.
Yep, and his granddaughter Sophie, who is 7.
So his granddaughter's older than his son
Yes,
by 6 years.
6 years. The former Formula One boss beamed as he posted with the kids as well as his wife Fabiana Flosi, who's 45, and daughter Tamara, who's 37, in front of a chocolate birthday cake. Happy birthday, Bernie.
Bernie!
Go, man.
91! So that means you were at least 90 when Ace was...
You go, man.
When Ace came to the finish line, dude.
Somebody got something by the goalie.
Formula One boss, man. I guess I'm going into Formula One because I'm telling you what, my checkered flag just ain't waving these days.
You got the speed.
Wow! I thought Tony Randall had it going on. Dude, you are the man.
He's got it going on now. From October 28th, police in Missouri are asking for the public's help to solve the unusual mystery of a mobile home that was abandoned in the middle of the road. It was a single wide.
Well, thank God for that.
The Greene County Sheriff's Office said in a Facebook post that someone abandoned a mobile home in the Republic area near the intersection of Farm Road 168 and Farm Road 97. Photos shared by the Sheriff's Office show the home is loaded. It's on a trailer. It's got wheels.
Mhm.
But the hitch is propped up on blocks instead of being attached to a towing vehicle. So somebody towed it there, chocked the wheels, wound down the landing gear, put a block under it, and drove off.
Well, bless her heart for, preserving the scene and making sure that the single wide was safe.
And didn't roll away.
It didn't roll away.
Anyway, investigators are asking anybody with knowledge of the house's origin to please contact the Sheriff's Office.
Well, wouldn't they have, just like anything else, it'd have like a serial number or something on it that can trace where it was sold and how.
You would think. But some of those tags fall off, and then there's just it's a mobile home.
Yeah.
It's not something you drag around every day.
And if somebody came to me and said, hey, we got this mobile home, we found it in the middle of the road, you want to buy it? I'm thinking, okay, what's wrong with it? Somebody just left it in the middle of the road. What's going on?
I'm sure it wasn't furnished.
But who would just, I'm thinking they either owed money on it or owed money on it and to whatever mobile home park they were in.
What? Somebody just repossessed the house and left it in the middle of the street?
Yeah,
Nah, I don't know. I'm thinking, here's what I think. And now if the police are involved or the sheriff's department, a truck of a large size was pulling a single wide mobile home, which takes a pretty good sized truck.
Yeah.
Probably broke down. The tow company says, I'll tow the truck. I ain't towing that.
Yeah.
So they unhooked it and towed the truck. And they went, you know what? that house ain't worth all that. Just keep going.
And well, I'm thinking there might have been some marijuana involved too, where the guys
Could have
get
been a drug
towed.
deal gone bad.
Yeah, the guys get towed, and then they're sitting around and they're waiting for the tow, and they go, "Weren't we hauling something earlier?"
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I don't remember. What was it?
Anyway, I found this kind of next story kind of amusing. It's not really that big of news, but Facebook is trying to rebrand itself as a company called Meta, Meta.
Oh.
It's not meaning that the word, your Facebook's going to go away. Don't panic. Facebook will still be Facebook, but the company that owns Facebook is trying to rebrand itself as Meta or Meta. I don't know if it's a long or short E.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Anyway, but a PC company that's already called Meta or Meta has something to say about it. According to TMZ, another company already filed to trademark the word Meta back in August. The company sells computers, laptops, tablets, and software, and founders Joe Darger and Zach Schutt, S-H-U-T-T, said they've been operating Meta PC for a little over a year now, but only recently filed to trademark the Meta brand. However, Meta's trademark hasn't been granted yet, so whether the company gets it instead of Facebook is still up in the air. However, Darger and Schutt also said that they will relent on the trademark if Mark Zuckerberg is willing to pay at least $20 million.
Come off the wallet.
Come off the wallet.
Pocketbook. And Zuckerberg, $20 million, that's chump change.
He just makes a phone call, cut a check.
You gotta check these guys. Yeah.
Luckily, the founders also have a sense of humor. Meta PC's Twitter account posted a meme picture of Zuckerberg holding one of the company's products in his hand.
Nice.
Got a picture of Zuck. He's like this holding one of their.
Yeah.
That's pretty cute. Joking around, going. Additionally, Schutt posted a joke video of him announcing Meta's PC new name, rebranding the company as Facebook.
Yeah,
Just swap them.
Yeah, it's a fair swap. It's a fair trade.
Why not?
You can always tell though when a company is, I can't say necessarily in trouble, but their reputation is
Sags a little bit.
Yes.
Got a little tarnish on it.
There is one prime example that comes from my particular industry. Everybody these days has heard of iHeart, iHeartRadio.
Yeah, we're on it.
Yes, we are. iHeart was actually rebranded from Clear Channel Radio. And the reason that Clear Channel decided to rebrand to iHeart, one of the reasons, was that Clear Channel was starting to have a little bit of a tarnished reputation in the broadcast industry because of acquisitions and stock splitting, and
they had to go
all kinds of
figure some stuff out.
They had to figure some stuff out, so they created iHeart. They had created iHeart as a subsidiary doing concerts and things like that. So then they decided to rebrand the entire company as iHeartRadio. So part of it had to do with some financial, consolidations, but also part of it had to do with rebranding to get rid of that Clear Channel stigma.
The stigma. I get it.
And I can see Facebook doing the same thing at this point.
Because Congress has some questions for them.
Yes.
I don't know if they've been answered. Anyway, let's just pause for a moment and talk to about one of our partner sponsors, Biker's Edge. I know it's a little chilly today to be riding your bike, but every day is a good day to ride your bike, and they have all the accessories and gear to make you look good while you're doing it. Leather jackets to keep you warm, chaps, all that stuff. They're located here in Panama City. Their hours are usually Wednesday through Sunday, 10 to 5. Just give Pat a call at 850-624-6206. I'm sure she'll be glad to meet you just about any time at the shop. If you have a military ID, you'll get a 10% discount. And just make sure you tell Pat that Rob and Ashley from the Beer Cave sent you her way. Biker's Edge for all your winter riding apparel needs.
Second Amendment fully.
Now, We've all heard the saying, behind every great man is a woman. And that's pretty much true.
Yeah.
Well, in my house.
Yeah.
Most people like it when their partner gets promoted at work. However, one woman has shocked the internet by revealing just exactly why she gets so excited when her partner gets another promotion at his job. The wife shared the confession with the popular Twitter account Fesshole, Fesshole, which sees people anonymously share their deepest and darkest secrets. And I didn't know that existed until I read this story. I had no idea.
I've never heard of that, yeah.
Writing into the site, she admitted that her husband keeps getting promotions because she is actually having an affair with his boss. Behind every great man is a woman. The woman said, my husband's been getting several promotions at work and thinks it's because he's earned them. I've been doing this, boss, for a few years. His promotions mean longer hours away from home so I can continue to see the boss.
Wow.
Many people were stunned over the woman's behavior as one exclaimed, you sound nice. Second agreed sarcastically, she's a keeper, all right.
And her husband doesn't know.
Does
he thinks
not
he's,
know.
he's thinking
Yeah,
he's getting
he's just
promotions
getting
on
it
his
'cause
own merits.
he's working hard.
Wow.
Many speculated her husband could actually know that she's up to. One wrote, it'd be funny if he knew and decided he was getting the better end of the deal all around. While another added, he knows, he's into it, everybody's a winner. Then a third person said, hopefully he knows and is hiding some money in a secret account for post-divorce spending.
Well, I mean, it might be a win-win-win
It
situation.
just depends on your relationship, but
Yeah, I mean, he might have some side
give my
stuff going on himself, and "Ooh, you think I'm working long hours?"
yeah.
Hey, boss.
Hey,
when you're at my place with the wife, tell her that I'm working late tonight because I got something
Wouldn't
to
it
do.
be funny
with,
if maybe he was doing the boss's wife?
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice
that's
situation going on here.
That's an evil twist of things. Here's something a little scary since it's wintertime. Two people who police say tried to steal a furnace from a vacant Winnipeg house over the weekend had to be rescued after accidentally causing a gas leak and passed out. Officers responded to a report of a break and enter at a house on North Stella Avenue around 5:30 in Winnipeg. Residents had reported an odor of natural gas, which could be smelled outside. The officers who responded noticed the strong smell coming from the house and spotted the two unresponsive people inside. Police went in and rescued both adults who had been overcome by noxious gas fumes. Once outside, the pair, a man and a woman, both in their 40s, regained consciousness. They were assessed and treated by the Winnipeg Fire and Paramedic Services. Both were detained and later released without charges. Police said they believed the two had broken into the empty house and were trying to steal the furnace when the gas feed became dislodged, causing the leak.
Why would you try to steal a furnace?
I guess they were cold. I don't know.
How are you gonna get a furnace out of a house without being seen?
Well, first thing comes to mind, turn the damn gas off.
Well, make sure the gas leads are gone. And one of the things you know how my mind works. One of the things I thought about was natural gas is actually naturally colorless and odorless. They actually add
the raw egg, smell to make it distinctive, so you can tell.
So you can tell that,
Yes.
but otherwise, and I'm sitting here thinking, for some reason, you could smell the distinctive smell, and I'm thinking, okay, natural gas is odorless, and so I'm thinking, all of a sudden my mind goes to, I wonder who discovered natural gas. Who was the first one to discover natural gas? Was it like some guy that was sitting in a cave and didn't know what was going on, started feeling a little dizzy, and decided to light a fart with his
I knew a match was coming into play on that one.
And then all of a sudden,
You gonna smoke that in here? I don't know how they, there's all kind of inventions that we have. How do people
you
come up with
wonder,
this? You just don't know.
or discoveries.
You're right.
Who
Yeah.
discovered natural gas? I mean, who discovered? Hey, I'm going to eat this white thing that just came out of this chicken's butt.
Well, that's okay. There goes my breast. Well, from Panama City Beach, Florida, this is taking on some ground.
That's us.
Yes, right next door to the studio here.
Oh, that's right. WJX.
WJHG security cameras captured a man vandalizing the broadcasting equipment at the television station, taking most or all their channels off the air. The video shows the person severing and removing cables from 9 satellites. Now, I don't know if you saw the video, but I saw it. The man knew what he was doing. He was meticulous about going up next to the satellite, unhooking, and then going down here and unhooking, and then taking it and throwing it in the tall grass. End result, an employee noticed that signals were dropping and going down and going off and blah, 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 and went out back.
It doesn't take long to notice that.
No. The man told the employee he was with Tyndall Air Force Base. He was told to cut the wires due to a power issue, saying he was tasked because he lived nearby and was with the Navy. Then he ran off.
Okay, from Tyndall Air Force Base with the Navy. Okay, that's a contradiction in terms.
Tyndall Air Force Base is 20 miles away from here. The Navy base is 3 miles
3
from
miles
here.
away from here. And not to say that there can't be Air Force Station and Navy base or vice versa, but, I'm with Tyndall Air Force Base
Yeah.
and the Navy told me to do it. Nah, come on.
Anyway, he has been arrested.
Oh, they finally found him. Okay.
He through some DNA and some other physical evidence, he has been arrested. He is a pretty whacked out dude.
Did they identify him?
Yes, his last name is Johnson, and I did not write down his full name.
Okay.
You can go look just
But if
Google the news story and you can see his picture.
But if he knew what he was doing, because like I said, you're around satellites and transmitter sites.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, so he's got some kind of background in broadcast engineering.
The first speculation was that he may have been a disgruntled employee, not necessarily from this, but I think he was trying, I think they said on his arrest that he was trying to disconnect some satellites so he gets better cable reception at his house.
Well, now I would tell you this. I have lived just on the other side of your complex at Marlin Place. Mm-hmm. And now we had a tower, there's still a tower,
It's still
a
there.
radio tower.
Yeah.
But it would bleed, and I was working in the radio stations at the time, but it would bleed into our TV. We would get Island 106 on our television. I had to get a whole bunch of choke cords
Yeah.
to wrap around my cable, TV cable, and around my plugs, because those signals.
Of the signal.
So I could see where he might be getting some bleed, and it does get frustrating. But I'll tell you what, it's a federal offense.
Oh, he's going to be facing
He's
he's going to be facing some time.
Side story, I do have to say that I love this community, and this is one of the reasons why. WMBB, direct competitor for WJHG, lent their engineering expertise and lent their hand in getting
Been trying to get this resolved.
JHG back up
Yeah.
on the air.
Because it was
They were
it was a big task.
yeah, it was a huge task, and both stations, yes, they are. I can't say bitter rivals, but they're competitors.
They're
in the market.
competitors. Yeah.
But they, and I know that one would have done the other.
Oh,
JHG would have done the
Absolutely.
for MBB. So it was good to see that these stations and their personnel, especially their engineering staffs, came together and said, okay, we need to get this resolved. We need to get y'all back up on the air.
Oh yeah. I don't think they were really down out there that much, but
It was about a day and a half.
It was
yeah.
it was
and
sizable.
and it's like 3 or 4 stations. I mean, it's Me TV and
Yeah, Circle TV and then CW and all that.
Yeah.
It was a while. A Georgia woman was shocked that a huge booger in her nose was actually a bead that had been lodged there for 2 decades.
it finally just worked its way
A
out.
TikTok video documenting the disgusting discovery has racked up over 7.6 million views. I stared at it in amazement because it was so huge. It was inside me for 20 years. A 23-year-old told of her. Well, I don't even know of her booger. The revolting phenomenon first came to light after the Smyrna, Georgia resident suffered a sinus infection earlier this year that left her nose completely congested. Hoping to get to the root of the problem, she examined her nostrils with an earwax camera and discovered a blue object lodged in her nasal passage. Now, fortunately, Hammond managed to extract the severe sinus squatter, and after examining the object, remembers my mom was very into arts and crafts, so we always had beads, glitter around the house. Which occurred to me when I was 3 years old. The memory I had of it is standing in front of the linen closet in the kids' bathroom and pulling the bead out of a basket in the closet and then popping it into her nose.
So she remembers actually doing it.
And she couldn't get it back out, and then even think she didn't tell her mom or anything.
At 3 years old.
As the years went on, the blocked-up woman gradually forgot about the incident until about a year ago when Hamilton recounted the childhood story to her fiancé. It was only when Hamilton spotted the bead that she realized it wasn't just in her head, so to speak. Truthfully, removing her inadvertent heirloom went off without a hitch. Prying it out definitely hurt, but not as much as you would think. It was only for a few seconds. Hamilton is using her experience as a cautionary tale to others. Don't be putting stuff in your
Don't put
nose.
stuff in your nose.
My advice to anyone is who else suspects they could still have something in their nostrils from a childhood is 99% of your time till your parents will catch it before you have an issue. Better safe than sorry. If you think there's a chance you should get it checked out, I wish I had it checked out when I remembered the memory so many years ago.
I don't remember ever, and including the 80s, putting anything into my nose that didn't belong in my nose. Aside from, well, you know, except for maybe my finger, but but
Hamilton's not the first person to forget something up their nose. In 2019, an Australian man stunned doctors after it was revealed that his persistent sinus infections were the result of marijuana he smuggled in his nostril nearly 2 decades earlier. That one.
well, yeah. Look, she was 3 years old. She didn't know any better.
That nagging hanger on her.
You, on the other hand, you ever get that hanger that you can feel it when you're breathing, you go,
And you just can't get it.
Yeah, it just kind of, it's like a valve inside you. Like, okay, and you're in public. What do I do? Do I do a snot rocket or do I?
Oh, good Lord.
What do I?
Go find the Jiffy Johnny somewhere.
I can't dig it out. I'm in public.
Good Lord.
We've just digressed into a new low.
Yep. Now we're
All-time
gonna
new
now
low.
we're gonna go.
But don't worry. We will go to a newer low.
Yep.
Very soon.
In just a few minutes here, we're gonna sink it. We're gonna sink the ship on down. And now, the stories you're about to hear are true. The names have not been changed, and the persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. It's time for Idiots in Jail. All right, this first story here. Sorry, I got to keep the vocal cords hydrated. I didn't get to it last week. It was noteworthy to carry over this week. From Austin, Texas. According to the Austin Police Department, the situation began around 9:16 a.m. when the Austin Code Department and APD officers visited a residence to serve a warrant in Pawnee Lake Street. Code enforcement intended to conduct lawn maintenance after complaints of high weeds and grass. They attempted to cut the lawn, and this was the reaction they got. APD says during the visit, the resident began firing a gun from inside his home. I guess, get off my yard.
Yeah. Get off my lawn, you kids.
The city says all Austin code staff involved are all right, though one code inspector suffered a minor shoulder injury while seeking cover. SWAT crews had to be called in. Mental health officers and crisis negotiators responded. APD said the resident refused to come out or communicate with officials for several hours. Finally, at 3:19, officers were able to move to the back of the residence where the man began shooting again. They made entry at the front of the home using a robot, and the robot could see a fire had been started inside the house and was beginning to spread. For the next 20 minutes, officers tried to coax the man out, but they could see the house was fully engulfed in flames. Officers thought at this point the man had succumbed to the flames and smoke. All this over getting his yard cut. No word on any keep off the grass sign was visible.
That is like the most extreme get off my lawn story I've ever heard.
Burn your house down.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't say how old this gentleman was?
Didn't say how old he was, just they were showing up to serve him a warrant and mow his yard.
Well, hey, sir, look, we do have a warrant for you, but I'll tell you what, hang on.
We're going to mow the yard.
We're going to mow your yard for you, make it look good, so that when we take you to jail...
Yeah, that's a shooting.
At least your neighbors won't think it's
exactly.
as bad.
That's right.
You're going to burn your house? Never mind. Never mind.
From Denver. A man suspected of stealing a go-kart from a Parker Murdoch store was arrested after returning to the same store for the third time.
Why do we get these stories where people return?
Repeat.
Yeah.
But there's a catch to this one. The man, whose name was not released, was arrested last week after employees at the Murdoch's location called police when he returned. The suspect is accused of stealing a go-kart from the same store back in September after unsuccessful attempt 2 weeks earlier. Police said the suspect, who has one arm, flipped the go-kart, then abandoned it during an attempt, but alleged theft on the 24th was successful. He's a one-armed bandit. See what I did there?
I see what you did there. You can see the first attempt, though, all he was doing was turning in circles.
The police department said the suspect was arrested for outstanding warrants and transported to the Douglas County Jail after he returned to the Murdoch store for a third time, but employees were ready for him and immediately called the police.
Put your hand up.
That's pretty bad.
How do you cuff a guy like that? I'm just wondering.
You don't. To himself? Like the wraparound chain?
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I guess you can do that.
Yeah.
Shackle himself. And from College Station, Texas, a College Station man is accused of shooting his friend multiple times, then barricading himself inside an apartment complex.
Some friend.
Carl Pluffler, 27, was arrested Sunday after a lengthy standoff. He's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and aggravated assault against a public servant. His bond is at $400,000. According to the police, he shot his friend around 3:30 at the Lake Walk at Traditions apartment complex because he was offended by what his friend was going to wear to a wedding.
Okay, you're going to wear brown shoes with the black tux? That's a shooting.
Yep. The victim was taken to a hospital. His condition at the time was unknown. The suspect barricaded himself in his bedroom. Police said at one point he shot at a SWAT member attempting to negotiate a surrender. So
I'd like to see this outfit.
I didn't see a picture of the outfit, but that would be pretty cool to see.
I mean, I'm not really offended by a lot of things people wear.
Well, I can't believe you wore that today on the show.
Well, I know, but it's not chilly. This was more functional than stylish.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. And finally, Johnson County, Arkansas. Deputies in Johnson County say they made a huge drug bust during a traffic stop Tuesday, but they think the bigger crime was the suspects bringing Little Debbie into the mix.
Oh, he had snack cakes.
And he was using them to smuggle drugs.
Oh.
Dude, don't mess with the Little Debbies.
Yeah, the Swiss rolls, yeah, come on.
Anyway, a K-9 unit had to be called, alerted, make a long story short, was alerted. This couple was smuggling meth, Xanax, and a half pound of marijuana inside Little Debbie cakes. Don't mess with the snacks, dude.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a rule.
Yeah.
Don't be messing with the snack cakes.
I mean, my nutty bars are my nutty bars.
Yeah, don't be smuggling drugs.
Don't be smuggling drugs in my nutty bars. I like my Swiss rolls. The only thing, I guess, because nutty bar, you really can't smuggle anything in nutty bar. It's kind of like a crispy wafer type thing. Swiss rolls, you can.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah,
Shove
some in
things
the
in.
middle. Deputy said most of the drugs were discovered in Little Debbie oatmeal cream pie box. As cops, we can't begin to tell you how much that upset us. Snack food is our life. The department posted on Facebook, if criminals start messing with the zebra cakes, it's going to take it personal.
That's right. Now, I take it
It's going
personal.
to be personal.
I take it personal with the oatmeal cream pies because that was one of my favorites.
That's right. Anyway, that's about all I got from my side of the table. That's probably about all the time we got. We've gone just a little bit long. We're about bumped up on an hour.
Well, the one thing I do want to touch on was last week I touched on Chase Diamond. He's new in town, he's trying to get his charter boat service going. And I couldn't find his number, his local number. He had just changed his number to a local number.
Right.
And so I do have it now. 850-775-5352. 850-775-5352. Now, here's what he's doing right
He's
now.
doing some charter work, right?
Right,
Fishing charter.
But he's not taking actual charters. What he's doing is he's trying to get some video. Ashley and I are talking to him. We're probably going to go out and do some video. But he's willing to take people out to do a trip just for the cost of fuel and bait. And he likes live bait. He's a live bait fisherman. And he also has an international license, so he can go further off than just coastal waters. But anyway, give the guy a call. Chase Diamond. He will be fully operational by February. By
Cool.
his season.
Cool.
So I just wanted to, since I wasn't able to give him the proper plug last week, I wanted to give him a good plug this week.
There you
So.
go. There you have it. And as always, tips are definitely appreciated our way. So some of you that have sent our way, we thank you so much. They are appreciated. Venmo is at Beach Bums Media. The Cash App is going to be the $ at Beach Bums Media. Don't forget to Google us, Beach Bums Media, or In the Beer Cave with Rob and Ashley. You'll find us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't be shy to share it.
Tell your friends and family.
Yep. It's you can share anything, any link that we have, and if you would like to become a sponsoring partner, you can call or email. The phone is 850-588-9275 or beachbumsmedia@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you, and we have several opportunities as well as studio branding. And I see here on the Facebook page that my daughter in Colorado Springs says it's cold. I see you're wearing a long sleeve shirt in Florida. Yes, Christina, it's cold.
It is chilly.
I live in Florida for a reason, and it's not it.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, thanks for stopping by. Everybody hit the feed. I hope everything did good on the buffering. I hope it didn't lose too much in translation.
And if you're watching the live feed, like I said, like Ashley said, you can get the fully edited version without the glitches tomorrow morning on YouTube.
And also Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Google Play just for the podcast platform.
And as always, once again, thank you for just letting us be us.
Until next week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.